killed after being lured on a date by a teenage girl. On a cold January night in 2025 in Indianapolis, Indiana, what Gerald Pryor thought was a normal date with a woman he met online became the last night of his life. The story began with just 3 simple words in a message: "When you free." No one could have imagined that this conversation would lead to a murder that shocked the community and left a young daughter fatherless. Gerald Pryor, 26, was a devoted father to a 2-year-old girl. He had connected with Alexis Hawkins, 19, through an online dating app. According to court documents collected, in January 2025, Jarrell messaged Alexis asking when she was free. Alexis responded and agreed to meet him. But behind this seemingly harmless conversation was a dark conspiracy. While exchanging messages with Jarrell, Alexis was simultaneously communicating with her actual boyfriend, Brian Winston Jr., 18, via Instagram. According to investigators, Alexis was arranging the details of her date with Jarrell while secretly coordinating with Winston. On that fateful night, Jarrell met Alexis and they sat in his car. According to the indictment, just before 1 a.m., Brian Winston Jr. appeared and opened fire. Jarrell Pryor was shot dead on the spot, leaving his 2-year-old daughter fatherless. When police began investigating, they discovered the messages between Pryor and Hawkins. They then obtained a warrant to search Hawkins' Instagram account and found several suspicious elements. Investigators said she had searched for phrases like "today's news," "news today near me," and "shootings at Keystone," all on the day of the murder. Police also discovered that Hawkins had messaged multiple people asking for rides near the shooting location around the time Gerald was killed. When investigators interrogated Hawkins the following week, she claimed she didn't remember much about that night. She insisted she had no weapon and said, "There's no weapon to say I did anything. My fingerprints aren't on anything." When asked if her fingerprints might be found inside Jarrell's car, Hawkins replied, "It wouldn't be on any weapon." But when investigators asked about a message she sent saying she would execute a play, referring to a scam, Hawkins stopped talking and requested a lawyer. Hawkins was arrested shortly afterward and charged with murder and robbery, causing serious injury. Winston was also charged with murder, felony murder, and robbery. Under Indiana's legal system, both face serious charges. Alexis Hawkins is charged with felony murder, meaning that although she didn't directly shoot, she participated in a crime, robbery, that resulted in the victim's death. Brian Winston Jr. is charged with murder, felony murder, and robbery. In this case, digital evidence plays a crucial role. Messages, Google searches, and geographical location data from mobile phones helped police build their case against both suspects. Particularly noteworthy was a message in which Hawkins referred to hitting a lick, slang for robbing someone and taking their property. According to legal experts, this digital evidence could seriously disadvantage the defendants, although they might argue that these messages were unrelated to this case or weren't sent by them. Additionally, police found video footage from a liquor store showing Alexis in the car with Jarrell Pryor before the crime occurred. Although Winston doesn't appear in this video, investigators may gather more evidence from other security cameras in the area. If convicted, both Hawkins and Winston face sentences ranging from 45 to 65 years in prison, with a mandatory minimum of 45 years. In Indiana, convicted individuals must serve 75% of their sentence, meaning they would serve at least about 37.5 years if convicted. Defense attorneys might try to negotiate to reduce the charge to voluntary manslaughter, a level 2 felony in Indiana, with a sentence of 10 to 30 years and no mandatory minimum. This is especially important for young defendants like Hawkins and Winston. Legal experts also point out that one of the defendants might agree to cooperate with prosecutors in exchange for a plea deal, especially if they provide evidence against the other. This creates an implicit race between the two defendants about who will be the first to cooperate with the prosecution. Hawkins might argue that Winston was a jealous boyfriend who appeared unexpectedly, shot Gerald out of jealousy, and that she had no prior knowledge of this. She might explain that the "I love you" messages sent to Winston early in the morning after the crime were due to fear. For his part, Winston might deny any connection to the crime and claim there's no direct evidence linking him to the murder. He might point out that Hawkins, according to her mother, had an unstable lifestyle and associated with dangerous people, and that any of them could be the perpetrator. While legal proceedings continue, Jarrell Pryor's family faces inconsolable grief. His parents, who once hoped to see their son become the man and father he aspired to be, now must raise their granddaughter. Gerald's mother, Tamika Y., shared with Wexin, "I'm broken inside." Just weeks before the case came to light, Gerald's parents celebrated their granddaughter's 3rd birthday, a milestone that should have been filled with joy, laughter, and a father's love. Instead, it was a day marked by absence. No Gerald, no hugs from Dad, just a little girl too young to understand why her father never came home. Gerald Pryor's case is a painful warning about the potential dangers of online dating and meeting strangers. It also highlights the increasingly important role of digital evidence in modern crime investigation. In an era when people are increasingly connected through social media and dating apps, Jarreel's story reminds us of the importance of caution when meeting strangers and sharing personal information online. Both Hawkins and Winston are currently being held at the Marion County Jail without bail. The case is still under investigation and trial, and the public awaits justice for Gerald Pryor and his family. Although no sentence can bring Gerald back or compensate his young daughter for the years lost with her father, bringing justice may provide some comfort to the grieving family and send a strong message about the consequences of such brutal crimes. This case has not only affected Jarrell Pryor's family, but also left a profound mark on the Indianapolis community. It has sparked discussions about gun violence, youth crime, and safety in the digital age. For parents with young children, Jarrell's story is a painful reminder of life's fragility and the importance of family moments. A child has lost her father in the blink of an eye, and the memories they could have created together will never become reality. For young people like Hawkins and Winston, this case illustrates the serious consequences of thoughtless decisions. If convicted, they will spend most of their remaining lives in prison, all stemming from what was allegedly a robbery plan gone wrong. Jarrell Pryor's case is a profound tragedy with many complex layers. It combines elements of love, betrayal, violence, and technology into a heartbreaking story of a life cut short too soon. As the justice system continues to work to bring justice for Gerald and his family, we are reminded of the importance of vigilance in online interactions and the value of each moment with our loved ones. Behind the articles and headlines about this case is the story of a father, a son, and a human being who lost his life tragically. And there is a little girl growing up who will only know her father through photographs and stories, a painful legacy of a fateful night that changed many lives forever.